The University of Michigan is in deep doo-doo. Let me explain. So we all know about college football, right? We all see college football, and we see these signs on the sideline that all these coaches put up, or some of these players put up, right? With Beyonce and Kermit the Frog, or crazy pictures, random pictures, right? Well, that's cadence for the offense. The offense knows what those plays are. Those are plays for the offense. Or in hindsight, some of those aren't plays. They're just distractions, as the backup quarterback or, also some other person on the team actually calling the plays. But in reality, they mean something to that team. And the University of Michigan have been scouting that for the past couple years. They've been paying players to go to these games and figure out what those signs mean, what the signals mean for the offense, what this means for the play calling. Like, they've been trying to figure out their opponents for the next upcoming years, and it's illegal. Let's talk about it. So it's not about the scouting that they're in trouble with. The biggest thing is they're paying their staff to go to these games to watch, like, Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State, Minnesota, trying to figure out what their plays are offensively, what their calls are, what the signs mean, what the signals mean, and you can't do that. Now, I don't think it's that deep. Let's talk about it. So going to a game and figuring out what their play calls are, their cadence are, is pretty much the same as watching film in my eyes. Like, you can watch film and figure out, okay, well, this sign means this play, or this signal the coach does on the sideline means this play. Like, that's what these signals mean. So I don't see what the big deal is of just going out and paying somebody to go watch the game and figure out, hey, what's going on, with their play calls and stuff. Now, going on their sideline is crazy. The University of Michigan having some of their staff going on the sideline and act like there's somebody they're not. That's crazy. I will give them that. But just in general, man, going to the games and watching the game, I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that's such a huge factor to them to shut down their playoff hopes next year. Another issue I have with the whole situation is, well, pretty much the fact that no matter what you do, if you don't have the talent, or if you aren't in game doing it or playing, you're going to be lost. And what I mean by that is, if you're a player, if you're a defense, you're trying to figure out their offensive cadence, and you've been watching film all week, and coach came back with the game plan saying, okay, well, this sign means this, or this cadence means that. In the game, you still have to put it to work. You have to still figure out in game, okay, this is what coach said, this is what coach said to do, so let's go ahead and execute it. And if you don't execute it, you're going to get beat. Regardless, what I'm saying is you have to still go out and perform, regardless of what you know and what you don't know. For instance, when Michigan played TCU, I don't know how much they scouted. I don't know how much they paid their staff to go out there and watch them, figure out plays on the sideline and whatnot. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter what they found out. TCU was rolling on their ass, and it wasn't even pretty. Like, no matter what they knew or what they figured out, they still had to go on the field and work through it, and they didn't. No matter what play they ran, no matter what offensive scheme, signs they knew in the back of their head as a defense or as an offense, they knew the plays, but you still had to stop it. For instance, like, let's just say if any team plays like a Georgia or Ohio State or Alabama, like, no matter how many plays they know, they have to go out there and stop it. No matter what they know in the back of their head, they're going to have to go out there and play. And that's one of the biggest things. Like, scouting isn't just what we know or what we can adjust to. It's really like what we know, what we can adjust, and can we execute it? Can we execute this to a T? And it's not always going to be like that. So yes, the University of Michigan has been excellent these past couple years. They've been a winning program team, and I don't know how this is going to affect them in the long run. I'm a Michigan fan, so I'm somewhat biased to, Michigan and, what we stand for, but this is kind of big. Like, it is. And a lot of fans like, oh, it's not that big a deal, and maybe they'll sweep it under the rug. No, they're tracking down more of these situations that's happening with college football, and cheating and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So it's going to be a thing, and they're going to get some type of punishment. I don't know what kind of punishment they're getting. I don't know what kind of disciplinary act Michigan's going to get, but at the end of the day, it's all about being ethically right, and Michigan has not been that. And maybe it's not a big deal to some people, maybe it's a big deal to some people, But in my eyes, it's not that big a deal. I might be biased, but I really don't think that this sign stealing is really a huge issue for the Michigan community. Like Jim Harbaugh talking about, he doesn't want to speak to media. He doesn't want to talk about the situation. Makes him even more guilty. But the main thing is right now, man, just figuring out how to finish the season off for Michigan. And if there's any consequences in the future, they'll handle it from there. But in my opinion, man, they're cooked next year. Michigan's cooked. Next year, they won't have a chance to play in the playoffs. The 12-team playoff, they will not be able to participate. I feel like they're going to lose a lot of their recruiting class because of that. Nobody has decommitted from the recruiting class. But in all honesty, if U of M goes down, it's going to be rough for their program for the next 5+ years, because losing those recruits and that 1 year of suffering from it is going to be an issue. But let me know what you think, man. Do you think the University of Michigan is going downhill for sign stealing? Is sign stealing even a big thing? Is it really that serious? Is it really that deep for y'all? Let me know in the comments what you think. On the road to 500 subscribers. Let's get it. I'm in Baltimore right now. I'm on a work trip. So this week I'll be posting a video. I'm going to the Baltimore Ravens versus Seahawks game. It's going to be lit. Both teams beat my Detroit Lions, sadly. But, it's going to be fun atmosphere. Finna go, have a good time. It's Time Nation. Thanks for listening. We here. We locked in. Thanks for listening this Time Nation.